Built to last, trained to save. Welcome to Lock and Load Podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're here to talk to you about Connecticut 2A issues. Today we have Jeff Henriquez from Real World Concepts, Cerakoting, Stop the Bleed, and more. So Jeff, why don't you give us a bio about yourself, kind of your personal history, and then dive into the business.
All right, my name's Jeff. I own Real World Concepts. I was a paramedic in Bridgeport for 15 years. Then I went over to Iraq for the next 13 years. Always been into guns since I was about 8. When I got back home, I started up my business. I focused mostly on Cerakoting, just about anything, not just firearms. And I also do medical training, which was what I did for almost 30 years. So I like to share that with everybody else.
So what do you Cerakote in general? So like what do you Cerakote the most?
Mostly Glocks.
Mostly Glocks,
Tons of Glocks. Yeah, tons of Glocks.
Any Gucci Glocks? Get those like.
I actually got one in the works right now.
I get those Gucci Glocks.
But you've also done car parts.
Car parts.
So you
golf clubs.
So for people that don't know, what is Cerakoting?
A Cerakoting is just a protective coating. You can do colors or patterns or just about anything you could think of to make whatever you have your own.
Okay.
Personalize.
So that's kind of how we paint guns. It's all right. Spray painting on real guns probably does not go a long way here, right? Not airsoft guns here.
No.
So Cerakoting is the proper way of customizing.
Well, and you don't even have to totally customize it. You can, if you have an old beat up gun, you can just Cerakote it straight black.
Yep.
And it brings
That's
all
brand
of
new.
that back. You know, or if it got damaged, like the one that we had an issue with at Patriot Wear, we brought it to Jeff and he went and fixed it all up. It looked brand spanking new by the time he was done. It was awesome.
So on top of that, you also do laser engraving.
Yep.
You do anything like stippling?
Laser stippling, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of laser stippling. It looks like on your website here, you got like custom these things.
Yep. Water bottles.
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't going water bottles. The
coasters.
coaster.
Yeah.
There we go.
Coasters.
Coasters. It's like that thing.
Yeah.
Well, you can engrave anything. He
Coasters.
does my belt. He does my belt clips for my holsters, for
Okay.
my metal, the DCC clips.
Yeah.
He does all of those.
Coasters are good for the holidays. So just about anything for the holidays.
Yep.
Did a ton of the Trump coasters. Yeah.
Now, what material do you do your coasters out of? It doesn't matter, or just do you have a specific?
Usually slate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like this one.
Yep.
Okay.
ARs, that kind of stuff too.
Tons.
Bolt actions, rifles, just in general.
Shotguns.
Shotguns, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do engraving on the firearms? Like, say somebody had a shotgun that they wanted to do something special on the receiver side?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
What is a micro slick for your bolt carrier?
It's a protective coating that Cerakote puts out that's self-lubricating. So we use it on pistons and car pistons and AR bolt carriers. Anything that's got friction cuts it on the friction.
So what does that
That's cool.
mean, self-lubricating? Because now I'm lost.
So like say a bolt carrier, for instance, you know, carbon really sticks to bolt carriers,
Yeah.
especially if you're shooting suppressed. It makes cleaning super easy. It doesn't really stick to it.
Oh, so it's like a Teflon
Okay.
Yep.
idea. Well, how cool.
That's interesting.
Okay.
So for you guys at home, I'm just going through his website and learning, reading, and going through everything. Especially on ARs, there's a ton of little parts. I'm assuming they can be Cerakoted on there. Just from stuff that is just normal stuff that's coming to the store that's different colors and stuff.
Doesn't have to be the whole gun. You can pick a
Revolvers,
piece part.
bolts,
Piece part.
shotguns,
Optics.
yeah.
Does it do, can you do the plastics? Like I see you have the grip, the
Yeah.
forward grip on that.
Yep.
I didn't realize you could Cerakote plastic. That's
Everything.
cool.
Plastic, anything.
Huh.
They do a special transfer for, coating for suppressors called transfer gray.
Okay.
It actually pulls the heat off the suppressor. So it cools your suppressors down faster.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. I was a little skeptical of that one at first, but I ran it on my own stuff and it works.
I may have
So
to talk to you.
Okay.
is this just years of doing this? Did you go to school for this?
So I'm certified through Cerakote. I went to their class. I got their certification. So I'm a certified applicator. And I also took Mike Singwin's class through Blown Deadline. Thankfully, I had the pleasure and honor of meeting him. He was a great instructor. Always there to help. So he's a good dude.
Why did you want to start doing this?
To be honest, it's expensive. So I kind of want to start doing it on my own. And then I took classes and then I really like doing it. So
Awesome.
Okay. So what do you have in front of you?
So this is my pink Glock that everybody makes fun of, but I shoot this quite a bit. It's Miami Tiger Stripe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So everybody laughs at me for that gun, but and then I have just a multicam aired.
Yep.
Again, multicam is big right now, especially multicam black.
Yeah.
Do a ton of that stuff.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So the pink Glock is pretty infamous at glasses.
It's more blue than pink,
barrel
though.
Cerakoted too?
What's it? Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. I know. So like, just from the wholesaler standpoint, like RSR does some like exclusive Cerakotes with Shark Coast, I think.
Shark Coast Tactical. Yeah.
And they do like a, I don't know if it's a blue. I think it's a '90s, like, remember that like carpet in bowling, in
like
bowling alleys. Yeah, it's kind of like that. They do like a daytime and a nighttime of that. Call it '90s, but it was all in like the 2000s when I was a kid going to a bowling alley. But that was the carpet. Obviously, it got installed then.
Roller skating rinks too, right? Didn't they have the same kind of a carpet feel?
Do those even exist anymore?
There is one in Waterbury.
You wouldn't know that. That was an old joke there, guys.
What's big too is like the 80s splatter camo.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I do a bunch of those too.
I've seen that all over the place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's turnaround time like for like let's say I bring you a Glock 43X and I want it painted bright stupid pink.
I try to keep turnaround times under 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mostly about a week, but I like to give you a little bit longer just in case.
Yep.
And could I speed it up? Could I pay more money for that?
Absolutely.
Time is money, right?
That's right.
It
Time is money.
We get that at the holster place all the time. If I pay extra, can you get it done faster?
Absolutely. Right to the front of the line.
Oh, we won't worry about the 10 we have in place already.
Side note on that, USCCA official partner too.
Yep.
Like Lock and Load too, and technically Patriot Wear holsters.
Please.
It's a sore subject right now, guys. We're working on it. Okay.
I am. I just need some stuff.
We're getting there. Just going. I'm going through your website here, or I'm going through your Instagram. So yeah, what's your website? What's your social media handles?
Real World Concepts and everything. Websites, realworldconcepts.net.
Okay.
And Facebook, same thing. Real World Concepts. And I just started a TikTok. So,
yeah. Little TikTok.
Same thing.
And now, so what's the process? Does somebody just call you and then you set up a time to have them bring you their firearm, and then you take it from them? Or do you just take the parts that you need? If they just say they wanted a slide, do you just take the slide from them so that you're not taking the whole thing?
Yep. That's the way I usually do it.
Okay. All right. So that's cool.
So on top of Cerakoting, laser engraving, and all that stuff, there's a whole medical side to this, right? So you said you had like 30 years under the belt of like medical EMT, that kind of stuff. What certifications do you still hold for medical aspects?
So I'm still a licensed paramedic in Connecticut.
Okay.
I'm also National Registry, and then CPR, ACLS, PALS, TCCC, TECC, and a bunch of other stuff.
Lots of
One
letters.
person understood those letters. They're like, oh, wow, okay. And the rest of us are like, okay. I heard paramedic.
Yeah.
That was sounds important, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
What made you want to go to Iraq as a contractor? Like what made, because if you were here doing EMS in Bridgeport, what was that little light bulb that said, oh, I should do this?
I was in Bridgeport for 15 years, and I needed a change. So I just started putting out applications, and
that's a change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they said, can you go? And I said, sure.
I got a question on that. So Bridgeport paramedic?
Yeah.
Okay. More gunshots there or overseas?
That's about equal.
It depends on the day.
That is true.
I feel like it was a good question. It's like one of those questions you probably shouldn't ask, but like, fuck it. Why not? Right.
Yeah.
So
the classes you teach, is it, I know you teach the Stop the Bleed class.
Right.
And, so we'll start off there. So
what is Stop the Bleed class?
Tell our audience what a Stop the Bleed class is.
So Stop the Bleed is an initiative that was put out by the American College of Surgeons. Basically, they want to put a bleeding kit everywhere you see like a defib, defibrillator. Okay. They want their goal is to make the class as popular as CPR, if not more. So we teach people how to use the med kit, tourniquets, pack wounds, chest seals, and then go over their types of kits because people always have questions about what kind of kits they should have.
Because they vary depending on who they are and what they're doing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then people always get confused, like an IFAC, which is made for trauma. really fast response. And then you have a first aid kit, which is like your boo kit. And those should be separate.
Yes.
Well, do you, I've had a stop to bleed class here before in the past. There's a customer of mine, he's a paramedic and certified in that stuff too. Do your classes, do you have like those like gelatinized like gunshot wounds and knife wounds where they squirt out blood?
Yeah, I can use those.
Yeah.
I use
like pack the wound that way and like apply a tourniquet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are fun. You probably shouldn't wear nice clothes when you go and do that class.
No.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll use the wound cubes from Focus Research.
Okay.
So there's no mess, but I can also simulate bleeding if you want.
I feel like the mess is more fun.
It could be.
Right. More learning opportunities.
It's more realistic.
Yeah.
Tell everybody bring an apron.
I just like when we did the class a few times and I was just like, don't wear nice clothes or nice shoes. And like any of the blood stuff we did outside. Yeah. It's a little easier to clean up out there.
Is the fake blood that you're using, does it stain?
That I use down. It doesn't.
Okay.
No.
So it'll wash out real easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you probably got brand new white sneakers on. It's probably still not a great idea.
No, I agreed. I'm just asking. Yeah. Just asking. Do you do any other classes besides just the Stop the Bleed?
So that's like a 101 class.
Okay.
I do a 102 class, which is an 8-hour day. It goes into more patient assessment. It goes into how to expand your knowledge on using your med kit.
Okay.
And then it goes into, basic triage stuff. If you're in like a mass casualty incident, and then you move people and you actually treat your classmates, which makes it fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's very hands-on.
Very hands-on.
Okay.
Adults have a short attention span, so we get up and move around quite a bit during that class.
It probably helps a lot.
It does.
Well, because anytime any of us know, if you're sitting in a class and they're just yammering on, even if you've got pictures, at some point in time they yammer. It's like, okay. So you need something to keep it going.
Well, and I say this in the beginning of our pistol permit classes, adult learners only retain about 30% of the information taught to them anyway. Okay. So as much as like children and TV shows, right, you have those like 15, 20-minute TV shows because their attention span is small. So are adults. Some people in general, I guess, right? Some of them are shorter than that. Yeah. And so you change things up. Breaks, always give people breaks. Yeah. Because especially like basic pistol, it can be like watching paint dry.
Well, and you're getting a lot of information in that class. Yeah. So
and legal stuff now.
And it's being thrown at you and your brain is like, no.
So on your website here, you do intro to TACMed.
That's a very limited class. We vet people for that class. It's a full day class too. It would be like the 103 version.
Okay.
So in that class, we add everything you learned in 101, 102, and then you add a shooting portion to it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought was interesting there.
So how does this, okay, I just need to ask, how does the shooting portion fall into medical?
So it's a lot of buddy aid. I'd cover fire, move to cover and concealment.
So if you're under wounds. Fire type thing, how to protect and take care of.
Because most everybody's a gun owner that takes the class. So how to use your weapon and treat yourself or whoever you're with.
Okay.
You a certified instructor for like gun stuff like USCCA, NRA, something like that?
Both.
You said you do first aid and like CPR classes too? Yep. On top of just like the Stop the Bleed stuff?
Right.
Now, in your shop, do you have specific days that you are not in the shop? Like that you're closed so that our customers know that?
Well, where is your shop? Let's start there.
So Monday through Friday, I'm at the gun store in Waterbury, usually 9 to 7. And then on Saturdays, I go down to M2 Tactical. I have a good working relationship with them. And then Sundays, I try to take a day off.
But
that's
are you usually successful?
No, because we have quite a few chickens and goats. So that's usually consumes the day.
So he goes from doing
this. If you ever need your
to
chickens taken care of, I have a lot of huskies.
Oh, no.
And they will take care of those chicken problems for you.
Do you sell eggs?
I do got eggs right now. You want to buy some?
You might. We'll talk later.
He's loaded right now then, right? That's right.
Yeah.
Those things are expensive.
Well, and you're limited in most stores now.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
wow. You can see how much I go shopping.
No, it's crazy right now. And it's all, bird flu. But if you look back at it, it was
no conspiracy trains
made.
Right now, okay?
No, it's just choices made through administrations. That's all.
Connecticut 2A issues.
Sorry, my bad. Got a little lost.
Yeah, we sidetracked off a cliff into a
egg farm.
All right.
Bullets, Band-Aids, and beans.
Exactly.
Bullets, Band-Aids, and beans. Okay.
Yeah.
So your shop is inside the gun store
Yes.
in Waterbury, just like somebody else's too?
Yes.
Your neighbors?
Actually, yes. If you've ever been to my shop, he's behind me. So you go through my shop, through the door, and he's right there.
Yep.
See, before the bathroom or after that bathroom?
Pass. It's
Past the bathroom?
the door in my office
The other
showroom.
one?
Yeah.
The walkthrough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He also has a door on the outside. Do you use that door?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Do you use that door?
Sometimes.
I don't use his door. Sometimes my customers use my side door, but it's not.
It's amazing there, guys.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. Customers go, I just feel like this building keeps going
I feel
and going.
Real talk. How many businesses are in that one building?
There's a few.
A few?
It's like what,
Like a
4 or
dozen?
5 now?
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah. It
There's
is.
car stuff too, right?
Well, because
Yeah.
he has space. So he,
Just does stuff.
subleases out space, and
Yeah.
that's how we land.
What else? What else?
What else do you
Who's
want
on
to
your
tell us?
team? Who's on your
Oh.
team? There we go.
Yeah.
Right now, it's myself and my fiance Shelly. She comes down and helps when she's not doing a real job.
She's a registered nurse here.
Yeah.
And so she's bringing in the big bucks on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
did you
very
find her?
in-demand job?
Oh, no, you've known her forever.
Yeah, we've known each other for about 30 years.
Did you meet her when you were in Bridgeport?
No, not before.
How long have you two been dating here together?
3 years.
So it took you a while to pull the
Yeah.
trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
USCCA certified too. It looks like.
She is. Yeah. 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 We actually took our EMT class together back in '96.
Oh, wow.
96. Wow. I was 3.
Oh, stop. Just stop.
I get that a lot. Don't worry.
I always like to throw those in there, make people feel old.
The things I was doing, we're not going to discuss.
In 1996,
Yes.
you guys want a separate episode on that? I think that'd be interesting. Getting to know Michelle, 1996.
He was crawling around in diapers.
I was 3. No,
Yeah, not me.
no, you're old. It's okay.
I was riding Harleys. Yes.
So Cerakoting, bandages, laser engraving,
It keeps him busy.
Yeah.
You're very,
classes.
very
What
busy.
other shops are you associated with or businesses that you do? I think you said M2 in Norwalk. You're inside the gun store. Are you doing classes at either of these places?
So I do classes at M2. And I have a really good working relationship with them. Really happy to be there too. And the Bridgeport shooting range, I do classes there.
Is that the one that had the fire?
That's
Or
Stratford Guns.
Stratford.
And Ammo.
Okay.
Yep. We also do classes of Stratford Guns and Ammo. And
So do you live on 95 or near there? Because those are all
kind of like
that
a
area.
training gypsy. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Training gypsy. That's
And,
awesome.
And then on-site firearm training. We do a lot of classes with them too.
Now, if anybody is listening to this and wants to put together a class and has a location,
Sure.
can they contact you and you would do that for them?
Yep. I can come out to them.
Okay. All right. So you do that kind of stuff too, where you'll go to a location if somebody has like 4 or 5, what's your minimum people for that kind of a stuff?
I like to do about start at 6.
Okay.
So yeah, I've done classes at businesses. I've done classes at churches, schools.
Cool.
Well, USCCA has that church program too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a separate certification. It's under the countering the mass shooter threat.
Okay.
It's you have to go and get that certification. Basically, you pay for that, go
Yep.
do the online module stuff. But I know they have that kind of curriculum under there too.
I
Just
have
so you know, maybe,
Well, to
different
stop
things.
the bleed, people don't realize anybody, even if you're not into guns, if you're not into the tactical world, any of this kind of stuff, just as a mother, as a parent, as a Joe Schmo, you really should have some kind of knowledge on first aid and that kind of stuff. And stop the bleed is a beneficial thing.
Just for car accidents,
Oh yeah.
right?
Anybody in a
metal
shop?
cars and arteries don't go well together.
Nope.
Right? So tourniquets can save lives.
Any
right?
shop that has saws or has any
Yep.
kind of equipment in it, these are all
Or deals with
important.
guns and dumb employees sometimes.
Yes.
So that's one of the biggest points in classes that I point out. You're more likely to use this than one of these.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But-
That's very interesting. Yeah, we don't. So Todd, my instructor, gun guru, for you guys at home that also watch YouTube, he did a video a month and a half ago. I don't know, 2 months, something like that. December, because it was right before the Christmas party that we did.
Okay.
And he got shot in the leg at Wolf's
Yes.
by a ricochet. So some moron in a lane couple down from him. One guy had the permit, one guy didn't have the permit. The guy who had the permit was not in the lane. He was at the table of the other side loading up. Dum walks up, picks up the gun, boom. Round goes into the ceiling, bounces off a baffle, hits Todd right in the groin area, right where the femoral would be.
Yeah, that's a bad spot.
Luckily, and Todd has the round because he picked it up. The soft side that hit that is what hit him, and it hit his jeans.
Okay.
And I don't think it put a hole in his jeans, so that was good. Left a significant bruise though.
Oh, yeah.
So now Todd goes to the range with a tourniquet. So like he has one in his truck, but now we have one in our little range bag for when he goes to the range.
I make tourniquet holders for the Cat 7s.
Okay.
Just saying.
I sell tourniquets.
Yes.
You just sell tourniquets.
I do tourniquets too, but yes. So if anybody's looking for something that you can clip on your bag, clip on your belt, clip on whatever.
Yeah, there's like a little
got you.
pouch setup we had at the store here going on.
These
But
are,
what do you have in there? Open it up.
this is called an MFAC. So tourniquets on the outside.
Yep.
And then it's really basic blowout kit.
What does that mean for us dummies?
You get a blowout like a gunshot wound or a bleed. So chest seals, gloves, packing material, and quick clot all in here.
Okay.
And you can mount it on your belt or Molly or whatever.
Yep.
So this is like the minimum stuff you should have in your range bag.
Yep.
Just in case something happens.
What does something like that cost?
These are about $200
Okay.
For everything.
Okay.
And they're compact. They're good for a long time.
Anything in there expire?
Just a quick lot.
Okay. How long is quick clock good for?
5 years.
Okay. So not horrible.
No, and that's easy enough to replace.
Yep.
That's a nice compact bag.
They are. They're nice.
Yeah. Okay.
This
Cool.
is actually the same kit we carried overseas.
Really?
Yep. So that's why I'm pretty intimate with it, and I recommend it to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So do you sell that in your shop with the Cerakote stuff, or like online? Like what do you?
So I sell these kits, and then I sell a gunfighter kit, which is a small kit that mounts on the back of your belt, and It's got a sled that pulls out. So it's got basically everything that's in here.
Where do we find belts?
Oh, I have those. Pick me.
What kind of belts do you have?
I have core essential belts.
Okay.
I have 1.5 inch everyday carry. I have 1.75 inch if you want a little bit wider. I carry the battle belts for running and gunning. And I also have duty belts for law enforcement and security and anyone else who needs a heavier duty belt.
You know what I carry? Guns and ammo.
Yes.
See, not now,
And holsters. You have some.
Yeah, some. You know. It's this random company called Patriot Wear. Have you heard of them before?
I have. I've heard they're really nice people.
Is that what you heard?
I did several times.
Several
and if
times?
you look
Wow.
at their reviews, they're all 5 stars.
Are they? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, some places have a hard time doing that. Not Lock and Load, number 1 rated gun store in
See?
Connecticut. So we can throw that in there every now and again. Google, actually, I don't know if you noticed this. Google the other day had like some issues going on with the stars.
I don't know.
Yeah. So like we were at 1079 the other day, and we were down to like 800. It was dropping like flies. They were just disappearing.
Huh.
And then they all came back.
See, I don't understand the star thing because in case you guys don't know out
Talk
there,
to Jim. He'll figure it out.
I am not a computer person. I try. Very
we,
hard.
we use the same website guy.
Yeah. And it keeps coming up. Do I want to do stars? And I don't know what the heck those stars do. So I have said no every time.
Talk to Jim. Jim will help.
We're off topic though.
We are. We sidetrack sometimes.
We went another hill.
We did.
It happens.
I feel like they enjoy the sidetracks sometimes.
Now I have seen, we're going to get back on track,
Okay.
but I have seen some of Jeff's work. Not just the one that he did for us, but I periodically peek because I have a couple of items that I can't decide what I want to do with. And I can't decide if I want to keep them the same, like just keep them plain, or if I want to Gucci them out and make them all pretty. But I do go and peek at what he's doing. And I have to say, I am highly, highly impressed. And I have also recently, because I've never had a gun cut for an optic or had any cutouts on a slide or anything. And I was talking to a gentleman that he's one of our customers, and he's now getting into doing the slide cuts and this kind of stuff. And he does phenomenal work, but he doesn't Cerakote. So he had brought his in after he did the cuts, and I was really impressed with his work, but I realized it needed to be coated. So I never realized, you hear people say all the time, I'm going to send it out to have it cut. I'm going to send it out to have it cut. I never realized, it was just in my own mind. I didn't even think about the raw metal that would be left after it's cut. And you would know better than I would. So having the raw metal like that, does that make it rust faster? Does that cause a problem besides just the aesthetics?
Especially in the Northeast. Yeah. If you have exposed metal, it's going to rust. So, at least surface rust.
So if you get a slide cutter, you get something, you know, the optic cut, something like that. If you get that done, it is a good idea to definitely have it Cerakoted.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Okay. Keep that in mind. And that would be, depending on what they want it done, they could just do the slide. They don't have to do the whole gun, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So I actually get a lot of people that have the same question. They're like, I have a gun. I don't know what I want to do with it. Or I have golf clubs. I don't know what to do with them.
Yep.
What I tell everybody is the Cerakote has their own page and they have a gallery. You can go on there and look. There's tons and tons of ideas from applicators all over the country that submit stuff.
Do you submit yours?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how cool.
And then certified applicators, that's another perk for being certified is you get your own like page on the Cerakote website. So you could search for my business and pull my page up and see work that I posted.
Huh.
But the gallery that they have is probably the best resource for finding what you want your project to look like.
Yeah.
Because they have tons of ideas and you could search for Glock or whatever. You can use keywords to search.
I have at least one AR that I want done. I think I know what I want, but I want the distress look, but I'm very specific on what that look needs to be. That's why I haven't, pulled trigger on that one. There's so many choices.
Yes.
And over the years, I've had different guns and I've gone, oh, this one I'm definitely going to do this with. And then a little while later, I'm happy I didn't because it kind of was like a trend for me. It was like just a fleeting glimpse of it would be a good idea.
Well, then you just buy another gun and spray that one too.
See, and that's also the issue when, you have a few, you can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
I like it because it makes it your own.
Yeah.
It's, you're not buying something off a shelf. It's sort of, I relate Cerakoting, and maybe it's wrong, but I relate Cerakoting to almost like a tattoo.
Exactly.
I don't buy tattoos like flash art off the wall. I want something that's kind of, I get to put my own spin on it. And that's how I look at it with the gun. It makes it yours. So
I've never had one of my guns Cerakoted.
no, it's really cool. Maybe you should. There's a guy, his name is Jeff Henriquez.
I know a guy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He does really good work.
You're talking about that. I'm like, what gun would I do? And that's my problem too now. Because so my stuff, like my others, my CT compliant stuff, a lot of that was Aero Precision. So like I bought it like with their Cerakote or like their anodization that way. And like mix matching is not always fun. So then you got to get the whole thing Cerakoted if that's a thing.
FDE drives me nuts.
50 shades of FDE.
There is no PMI for FDE and everything's a different shade. Yeah. Holy crap. That like sends me off.
Magpul, like when you get a Magpul grip versus a stock versus a vertical grip, still 50 shades of FDE.
I've had people come in and specifically ask me to do the rail, upper and lower, and stock in all different shades of FDE.
50 shades of FDE.
That sends me off the deep end. I can appreciate those that love it, and I know guys that love it that way. Me, every time I see it, I want to cringe.
Maybe I'll buy myself like I keep thinking about the Glock 47 because I don't have like a full size Glock.
So that's the one you're gonna pick?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Well, like my 43X is already like I bought. It was a Lipsy exclusive or it was an RSR exclusive or something. And like, so that's already like laser stippled and cut and everything. And like, I have that, my P3 VTAC, XVTAC. So like, that was the custom, like they did for a little bit. So like, that's already done. I'm not going to go like redo that one, but like, I can just buy another gun. It's a business expense, right? It's a podcast expense. There we go. I'll make the podcast pay for it.
Or you get one of the police trade-ins. It's all beat up.
For
cheap.
And then you make it really pretty.
I do have a used Glock 17 over there, Gen 5 right now.
Yeah, and then you make it pretty. See, my shop tools I won't touch, but my personals I'll play with.
Yeah.
I have my favorite gun is an old West German SIG. So it was my very, very first gun.
I know you and your fucking SIGs.
I know.
Okay.
But this one has been used and loved. And that one I think you're probably going to see at some point.
Works for me.
Because even if I just go black and just make it look pretty again, I don't know. I haven't decided. So anything else you want to add?
So one thing that always comes up is the durability on
yes.
Stuff. So this particular gun, it's probably got about 20,000 rounds through it, in and out of my holster, thousands and thousands of times, and you can see that it's holding up pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes a beating.
Well, because it's not the ones that have a problem are usually those thick coats that they put on. Yours are not. Yours are just, they're done
Super
solid. Okay. Because I know the thick ones, even when they come from the manufacturer, sometimes they're a little thicker than what they like. Even my holsters won't work in them. And I've noticed yours are nice, and it doesn't even look like it's painted.
Yeah. That's one thing I think that people hesitate on, the cost of refinishing the gun is it going to hold up? And it does. I beat the crap out of my guns, and they hold up pretty well.
No, that's awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. That would play a role. If I'm going to drop money on making it pretty, is it going to end up scratched up and look like crap? Which,
it's a gun. It's a tool. It's going to happen.
Yeah. At some point in time, it might happen anyway, because again, it's a tool. But if you're doing something pretty on one of your higher end guns that you're not running and gunning all the time with, you may want it to stay nice for a while.
Yeah.
Last thing, you went to SHOT Show.
I did.
What did you think of SHOT Show?
Oh boy.
It was my first time at SHOT.
Okay.
And I got to thank the guys at M2 for pushing me to go, because it was a last minute decision. And Pete and them down there were like, you got to go. You got to go. It was my first time.
Okay.
So
first time is always fun. It is.
It is.
Did you walk 5,000 miles and walk 5,000 more?
I think Shelly and I walked 20 miles per day.
Did you see everything? Because I missed like a whole area, and they were talking about it on the last day, and I'm like, where was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was just so much.
I think so, exception of like the third and fourth floor that are open on Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
I hit everything, but I had a plan going into this. I knew where everything, like not where every booth was, but I knew where everything was located in general, like the rooms and everything.
Have they upgraded their app?
The app was awesome.
I didn't even use the app
because I used the app two years ago when I went.
It was good. That's what helped us. We made a list of what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it would bring you right. Okay, good. I'm glad, because that was, I will say that was, I tried, and I was literally walking in the main room in the Venetian, that big room. I must have walked around that 4 times thinking I was trying to get out, and I couldn't figure out how to get out to get to where
you got to find Glock.
Yeah.
Glock to get out.
I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And I come back around. I'm like, I was just here. Where the heck is the exit?
Finding the Sky Bridge too was fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like this year they had people like with little signs that you could ask.
Oh, good.
So like I'll give them that. Like there was like this way to the Sky Bridge, and there was a little guy in like green, and like with a little like like the stop and like go for construction. It was like kind of like that.
Well, they had them 2 years ago, but you'd ask them, "Where's the Sky Bridge?" I think it's that way. I'm not real sure. Yeah. And I'm like,
and the person, here's a beer.
Yeah. Cool.
That's the nice guy.
Yeah. No, those were nice. One day I was tired, and like we walked by a booth. We were going to Zev actually.
Yeah.
And there was some random like optic company, and it was beer time, and I was like, that beer hit a spot. Where'd you stay? What hotel?
We stayed at I always forget the name of it, the Pyramid one.
Oh, the Luxor?
Yeah, the Luxor.
I was next to that. I was at the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And Brian and Nick were at the Virgin Hotels, which is owned by Mohegan.
Okay.
And that was an interesting story. We're not going to go tell on a podcast.
See, I stayed at the Venetian, and I would probably stay at the Venetian again, either the Palazzo.
Expensive.
They do a nice, if you get
Luxor's cheap. Luxor's was that pretty reasonable?
It was reasonable because we booked last minute.
Oh, okay.
So we got beaten on the flights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a good time.
And the food. Did you buy a water at SHOT Show?
I did, with the metal water bottle that was $10. Yeah.
Metal water. That's cheap.
Yeah.
Buy a plastic water bottle next time.
No.
It was disgusting. The amount, like for a bag of pretzels, like a normal bag of pretzels was like fucking $12.
In the show or just
in the show. It was
on the
disgusting.
strip? Oh.
So the next day in the morning, I went to CVS.
That's what we were doing, because
filled
next
up my
door,
backpack with stuff.
Yeah, right next door was a store, so we would just go over there and get stuff.
I literally Ubered to CVS to save money.
No, it's crazy. But even the Ubers and stuff are expensive up and down,
taxis,
going a couple blocks.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It was a good time.
And especially when you
Don't
go
go
the
next
first
year.
time.
Do like every other. Like
I go every 4. That's my
honestly,
goal. Because
this year, I went 2 years ago. I need to go this year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go anyway, just to go to Vegas anyway.
You could definitely do that.
Yeah.
See, I
you went
overdid
to
it.
The 2 years ago when you were there, you went to you didn't go to Hoover Dam, did you?
I went to Hoover
Did
Dam,
you?
and we went to the Grand Canyon.
Great.
And then I overdid it. So we went to SHOT Show, and then I was on vacation again the end of March, beginning of April, and I had gotten the Venetian. Believe it or not, I got the same room I stayed in, I got for $108.
That's cheap.
And that was wicked cheap. So my girlfriend, I went to Phoenix, and we drove back up to Vegas and spent 3 more days in Vegas. So I kind of overdid Vegas.
Yeah.
I can take a little break.
I think we're going to road trip out there.
I think.
How do people get in contact with you again? Phone number, website?
Yeah, phone number, website, social media.
What is your phone number? I love it.
475-209-2749, realworldconcepts.net.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, so you're a net.
I don't call myself.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
I get you.
Perfect.
So I'm Josh.
And I'm Michelle.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lock and Load Podcast is sponsored by Lock and Load Firearms, Connecticut's #1 rated gun store and pistol permit class on Google. Come check us out, 1573 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington. Lock and Load Firearms.
Lock and Load Podcast is also sponsored by Patriot Wear Holsters, custom-made Kydex holsters locally made in Waterbury, Connecticut. www.patriotwearholster.com and use code LNL Podcast for 10% off your purchase. Orders available for shipping or pickup at various locations.